everybody. I'm Nikki Rich, the host of The Nikki Rich Show, and welcome. Welcome to our show today. We have an exciting show for you. We have a featured guest. I'm so pumped up to have her here today. First off, before we get to our guest, I want to let you guys know that you can tune in to The Nikki Rich Show anytime. You can log on and subscribe to The Nikki Rich Show. Go to Nikki Rich Show TV on YouTube or go to thenikkirichshow.com. Well, guys, I don't want to keep our guests holding on any longer. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about our featured guest today. It's all about her. She is a retired colonel, motivational speaker, author, TV personality, fitness coach, and the first African American woman to fly the U-2 spy plane. So, with no further ado, I'm honored and excited to welcome here to the Nikki Rich Show for the first time none other than Miss Merrill Tengesdal.
Tengesdal, thank you so much for having me, Nikki. I love it. That name
Yes,
trips
we're
everyone
so
up. I
excited
blame
to
I
have you
blame my
here.
husband.
Yes, you are amazing. And I said we had to get you on the show today, and it's such an honor.
Thank you so much. This is very cool to be here.
Yes. I want to first start off by saying, congratulations on all your success. You have been featured on so many, by so many people. And it's such an honor to have you.
Thank you. I mean, it's been a long journey. It's been a cool journey, and I'm enjoying every moment of it.
Yes, yes. And you wear so many hats, so many. How do you balance out all the hats that you're wearing right now?
I don't know if it's really balancing, whether it's, whether it's being a mom. I mean, I retired from the Air Force in 2017. So that was a big chunk of my life that I
Mhm.
kind of closed the door on, but I still talk about it today. So, for the audience, I spent over 23 years of military service in both the Navy and the Air Force, and I've flown
Yes.
six different aircraft, and my last aircraft was the U-2 spy plane. After I closed that door, I decided I retired as a colonel, so I wanted to inspire and motivate people because in the military, women of color they make up less than 0.2% of the Air Force's pilot or of the military's pilots across all branches of service. So
Mhm.
I just know how important it is for me to get my story out and to motivate other women, other children of color, people in underserved communities, regardless of, ethnicities that like doing STEM, being in these fields and doing these things that they might not necessarily see someone else like them
Yes.
perform. It's just great to get that message out. So I kind of do a lot of it through fitness. I didn't become a commercial airline pilot. I ended up um, just starting to do training. And with that came this opportunity to be on the reality show. So I was on season 2 of Tough as Nails. That's a CBS show that Phil Kogan hosted The Amazing Race, executive producer for.
Yes.
So I was on, that aired in 2021, and
One.
I've been using that and just my platform to go out and speak. And my agency is with Harry Walker, so I do motivational speaking for Fortune 500 companies, elementary schools, people who just want to hear parts of my story, whether it's leadership, whether it's being a girl from the Bronx, so for all New York City, Boogie Down, that's where I'm from, being born and raised, and
Yes.
then, flying a high altitude reconnaissance aircraft and doing the mission. So a lot of people want to hear these different parts and these different facets of my life, from growing up in a single parent household to being in the military to being a colonel to working out. Why do I work out so much? To like what motivated me. So that's really in about 5 quick minutes what I'm all about.
Yes. And to do all that you're doing and then to go from TV, how was that? Because that's a whole different realm.
It was, I think the timing was right. We filmed during COVID, so
Mhm.
I had nothing better else to do than be in the house with like everyone else was. But I think for me, it was important because I just retired from the military. And for all those who have military experience or who have been in the military, whether, it's 1 year or 20 plus years, I think the transition going to the civilian world could be a little difficult for some. And for some who are a lot more, because we have a lot of veteran suicides. And it's because of what they've been through, what they see, and that transition can be hard. And I'm no exception. And I will tell you that going on a show where Tough as Nails, where they highlight and they talk about your personal journey to inspire other people. And I got to compete with other people in the trades, doing competition in the trades in a situation that I'm not familiar with. It kind of brought this kind of camaraderie and team spirit to my life that I hadn't seen in a couple of years. So it was actually, the timing was, it was pretty good. And I just met some really great people, some very competent, skilled people in the trades, and we have some friendships that even today we still talk at least once a week, and we keep in contact with each other. So it's like a little family outside of the military.
I love that. Do you think you'll be able to go back? Would you want to do that again, or you could do something in your fitness realm, right?
I can. So um, I just celebrated the birthday. I turned 52. So heck yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to do any competition. I'm still. If you look at my Instagram and you see me bench pressing or walking around with a 25 pound weighted vest. Oh yeah, I'm still down. I'm still
You
probably in
ready?
better shape than most women in their 30s.
Yeah. And then you also took, your experiences and your story and you wrote about it in Shatter the Sky. Tell us a little bit about how you came about that.
So as part of when I was doing my fitness, actually producers of Tough as Nails reached out to me. They saw believe it or not, they saw my Instagram feed. I was new to social media. When you're flying spy planes for over 10 years, you keep a very low profile. So I wasn't really on any type of social media. And so when I started, because I became a trainer, I like to dance. I am not a good dancer, but I like to dance. So I was having fun one day and someone spotted it and they reached out to me and said, "Hey, are you interested in doing a show?" And I said, "What is this?" And then I started doing research. So I had to go through the interview process just like the other thousands of people that applied. And during that time, um, I had a couple of friends that were like, "You should write your story. You should talk about yourself." And I was like, "No, no, I don't want to do that." And then when I started the interview process, I said, "Well, timing wise, I'm that type of person that looks ahead. Like, what if, what's going to happen?" So I said, "Well, it's time to sit down and write my story and talk about it." And so um, I did. After I came back from filming in 20, like in the winter, in the fall of 2020, I sat down with a ghostwriter and we ended up working out, creating a manuscript in about a month. I had a lot of stories, a lot of hours of talking. And then from there, the following year, it was published. So I self published the book. It's on Amazon, it's on where books are sold. You can get it on demand. And here it is. So, Shatter the Sky is it's a good title because it just talks about just everyone used to say the sky's the limit, and it's really not.
Mhm.
You know it's about dreaming big and thinking big things, and disrupting the norm that people think, or the boxes that people try to put you in. So I just tell my story. I grew up in the Bronx in the '70s, and women had specific roles back then, and I wanted nothing to do with that. So
Mhm.
um, I watched a lot of science fiction, and I said I wanted to be an astronaut. And fast forward, after I graduated from college, I joined the military and started flying. So it talks all
Yeah.
about that. Yeah. So for all those people who don't like to read, I do have the audiobook that just came out 2 weeks ago. It's on Audible, Amazon, and iTunes, as well as this book. It's written in small vignettes, so you can read like 2 pages, get some stories out of it, and then put it down, and then come back to it. So it's fun. You'll laugh a little bit. You'll get a lot of my lessons learned, and maybe take some tools with you when you have to deal with other people in situations where maybe people don't want you to be there because of
Hmm.
X, Y, and Z. And how do you deal with those?
Yeah. So when you finished, I mean, how was you feeling when you wrote your last page? You like, how was you feeling about that?
Well, once it was written, it felt good, but then you have to sell it, right?
Yeah.
And it's hard to sell books to publishing companies. So what I did is I found someone who does book producing, and at that time I was doing a lot of interviews, and she read the manuscript and she said, "I will definitely help you self-publish this." So she took me through the steps of self-publishing. And in the meantime, we were editing the book, we were formatting the book. She had her team help with the formatting, help with the, getting the picture. The actual picture of this book is actually a picture of me that's hanging in the Pentagon, the actual original. So Mr. Chris Hopkins, who does a lot of like Tuskegee Airmen, he drew
Hmm.
he this is an oil painting picture, and so he allowed me to use it for the cover of the book, and all these pieces just fell in together. And within a couple of months of the manuscript being done, I put it on Amazon. So for all those out there who are aspiring writers, maybe self-publishing is the way. So
Yeah.
it's something to look into.
And I want to let everybody know too, that you were inducted into the Aviation Pioneer Hall of Fame as well as the Aviation Pioneer Hall of Fame. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Yes.
You were recognized as Eagle, for the Air Force as well. So, I mean, so many accolades. The board member of Sierra College. I mean,
Yes.
all of these amazing, accolades that, it just blew me away. I was like, wow.
I always say I'm here, there, and everywhere. So I was honored with the distinction of Gathering of Eagles, which is like going to the Air Force's Hall of Fame in 2019,
Hmm.
um, which was great. And then this year, I got inducted into the Women in Aviation Pioneer Hall of Fame, which is a huge honor.
Hmm.
They do every year. They do this huge conference, and so there were probably about 5,000 people there, and it was great. I was the keynote speaker there. I got to sign books. I got to be honored. So that was huge. I mean, that was like that's way awesome. And then being here, locally, I had the opportunity. They asked me to be on Sierra College, which is the community college here, which is a great school, to be on their board to help with fundraising and doing stuff and doing other stuff for the college. So not only I'm a board member, but I take classes there. So I do stuff like welding and take
Yeah.
sign language. I do all these, I think in life, for me, if you're not learning, you're not living. So if you're not
Hmm.
taking on challenges, if you're not challenging yourself, you're not living. Some people like to work a 9 to 5, go home, and there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, I like the challenge. I think it's always to put new experiences and what you learn out of it as tools in your tool belt. I'm always trying to, just be that better person.
Yeah. Now, what's next for Merle?
What's next? I don't know. Tomorrow I'm going to San Diego for a day to see at a friend's wedding. So I'm just thinking about relaxing without being around the family because I have two kids,
Hmm.
10 and 8. So sometimes they can be a handful, and
Yeah.
their school's about to let out. So that's what I'm thinking about. But on the horizon, just really talk to as many people, talk to um, different organizations is still what I do. I still train people. I still have clients. Um, and really just get the word out there. Do all my social media stuff, inspire people.
Hmm.
That's what's next for me. Just to keep
Yeah.
doing that.
Now, let them know where they can find you.
Oh, you can find me on Instagram. I'm DragonLady788. My other social media platforms will be LinkedIn, YouTube. So please subscribe to my channel. I'm starting to put content on there that talk. that's either motivational, or I interview other people in other jobs that are fascinating and get their take and their life lessons. On YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook, I'm Merrill Tengesdal. So it's pretty easy to find me. And but I really, if you want to reach out to me, Dragon Lady 788 on Instagram. That's the way to find me.
Yes. And they
And
can go on a journey with you, from everything that you're doing. They can see it, and I love it. Because even when I was following you, I just felt like I was there, with everything that you were doing.
Absolutely. So if you want me for a speaking engagement, the feedback that I always get when I talk to people, they're like, Meryl, it's like we're sitting on your couch and you're talking to me in this,
Yes.
and just giving me all these lessons. And I go, yes, that's how I am. That's how I've always been. Even in the military, unless you're in trouble, then my voice is a lot louder, and I have that
Mhm.
capability. So never get that twisted. And I if you want me in any speaking engagement, you can either contact Yvonne Forbes from La Bella Diva Media. She's my PR.
Yes.
She's a great woman, great to talk
Mhm.
to, or Harry Walker Speaking Agency.
Well, again, I'm so honored to have you on here. You inspire us all. And I know all the viewers out there that's watching, you inspire us to, and motivate us with your journey in life. And, I'm just honored to have you. I say, we got to get her on our show.
Thank
And I know you got to go, but again, thank you. Thank you for being our guest today. And
All right,
thank you for everything you do for our country, for serving and just everything. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on. And if anyone needs any fitness advice or anything,
Me,
look. What do you need? What do you need? What do you need?
everything.
Do you
A
work out
lot.
already?
I lost weight, but now I'm like at a standstill.
That's
I lost
awesome.
like almost 90 pounds, you know?
What?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you. But now I
I,
feel
I,
like I'm at a standstill, but I'm trying to push. I've changed my food completely though. It's really completely changed. So I'm happy about that.
so
I eat more
so
vegetables, more fruit, drink spring water, but I need help just getting over the hump, you
so
know.
what do you do? Do you exercise at all? What do you do?
hmm I
How
do
so?
yoga. I've been doing yoga lately because I don't know if you know, but I have kidney disease. And so we got to move. You can't just be in the bed. And, when you get a new kidney, you know, I can't wait. But whenever you get a kidney, you got to be able to walk, run, and different things like that. So we have to remain active, And so what I do is yoga, it kind of stretches your body.
Have you considered doing weight training,
Weight training.
like lifting weights?
So I feel like sometimes I feel like sometimes I'm weak.
But so is lifting weights? It's not anything that the doctor has not told you can't
No,
do, right?
no, 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 no.
So what I want you to consider
Mm-hmm.
is to start pumping some weights. Start getting and lifting some weights. And like for a lot of women out there, we're always afraid. Oh, we're gonna bulk up. We're gonna be like these muscular
Mm-hmm.
people. And the answer is no. You you will see more muscle tone,
Mm-hmm.
but if you want to continue on, you said you're at this plateau almost like with the weight loss. So
Yes.
you've done a lot of things to refine your diet, and that we haven't really sat down and spoke. So I'm just speaking off the cuff here. I would have to get really and talk to you more,
Yes.
on an intimate level. And so the other thing to do is, if you're walking and stuff, is to start lifting and putting that into your regimen,
Mm-hmm.
starting once, then two, then maybe three times a week. So start lifting weights. And I would suggest, just because you have some medical issues, maybe start with a trainer or
Mm-hmm.
someone who's well versed in fitness and have them go through a questionnaire with you and then
Okay.
start developing some type of routine. But lifting weights is great. Having muscle is great. I found that especially as I get older, like when I went from 40 to 50, having all this additional muscle or having
Mm-hmm.
this muscle and having this regimen already built in for me is making my aging process a lot smoother than some of my peers who are just starting.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had both my hips replaced.
Mm.
I've recovered very well. I've had like other surgeries that I've gotten up within hours of surgery being done and I'm walking and I'm like, get me out of the hospital. And I'm like, same day going home. So
Mm-hmm.
I had one doctor, he's like, I can't let you go. You have to stay another night. And I'm like, you get me out of here or I'm going to act up really bad. And he's like, don't tell anyone. And I went home and I was fine. So I attribute that to being in shape, lifting, getting a strong core, strong other muscles, and it's helped a lot. So
Well, you're
just
right,
stick.
because I didn't incorporate it. I'm telling you, you knew me. You said, "Are you lifting weights?" Nope.
So I think about that and start working on finding someone who can help develop a plan for you.
Yes. Well, I'm be reaching out, and
Okay.
I thank you again for being our guest. If you could hold tight real quickly after the
Yeah,
show. Okay.
absolutely.
Thank you for being our guest.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And everybody, you were just watching our featured guest, Miss Merrill Tengesdal. We're so honored to have her. Make sure you go check her out, follow her, connect, network, and build. Thank you for watching The Nikki Rich Show.